All right. Well, tēnā koutou katoa, nau mai, haere mai ki te predator-free Te Tai Tokoro online quarterly hui. So hello and welcome all to another really exciting conversation we have today as part of our series of quarterly hui within the predator-free Northland December series for 2023. So for those of you who are watching and I haven't quite met, my name is Cameron Johnson and I'm the lucky DOC staff member that gets to work in this space supporting predator-free action on the ground in Northland. So today I'm really stoked to be able to introduce our guests who will be tag teaming a conversation with me about some of the conservation work they've been doing in partnership with their respective organizations. I'm particularly excited about today's topic because I think it really speaks to the essence of what the collective, what Predator-Free 2050, and I think ultimately conservation has to be about, which is really working together across our communities to deliver outcomes that are greater than the sum of their parts. So, without further ado, joining us today is Commanding Officer from the Royal New Zealand Air Force, Phil Jackson, and conservation superstar jack of all trades, Adele from the Piroa Conservation Trust. So welcome both.
Thank you.
So just to kick things off and start the ball rolling, I just wondered if you guys could both just briefly introduce yourself and tell us a bit about the work that you do in your respective fields, and equally speak to kind of how this partnership that you've got going came about.
Do you want to start, Adele?
Okay, yeah, I can start, no problem. So my name's Adele. I am a volunteer with the Piroa Conservation Trust. For those of you who may know, the area that we look after more is the Brynderwen Ranges. So that is the boundary really between Auckland and Northland, and it's about 30,000 hectares plus of conservation land. And the photo here sort of shows what a lot of our landscape looks like. It's between sort of Waipu along Langs, over the ranges into Kaiwaka and Mangawhai Heads and Mangawhai area. So the Conservation Trust has a broad spectrum of work. We do predator control, both weeds and animal predator, and pest control there. And we also have catchment groups, etc., planting and so on. So yeah, I'm one of the volunteers in the group. We have an amazing group of people looking after a wide array of things in the ranges here.
So I'm Wing Commander Phil Jackson, CO of 230 Mission Support Squadron here in Whenuapai. I have a family batch up in Mangawhai and have probably spent the better part of the last 15-20 years sort of going back and forth up there and do a lot of running. And there was on one occasion up running in the Brynderwens and sort of realised that there was an opportunity there. In the position I'm in at work here with a bunch of motivated young people that are keen to get outdoors, saw an opportunity to potentially team up and do some work in the area. So through a family connection who living in the same area as Adele there, we managed to sort of join forces and saw an opportunity to throw manpower at a worthy cause. And we've enjoyed several opportunities now to get up there and work with the Piroa team and DOC and Northland District Council, to do some trapping and track work alongside the local trackies has been fantastic.
Kia ora. So I wonder if you could tell us a bit about, you've started to allude to it, the work you've done together and what you've achieved.
Okay, I can just kick off and then Phil can talk about sort of a bit more about his team's work and that. So we saw the opportunity to bring the team up for a week. They had 5 days with us and we worked with Northland Regional Council, DOC, etc., local volunteers, and mapped out a new walking track, which is a diversion or a new part of what the Te Aroha Trail is. As well as we looked at some DOC reserves and other land areas, and we're looking at bait stations that we could install through that area. So we had a 5-day project set out for the team where they got involved in all of those aspects of the work through the hills here. We then had some education things just to make it a little bit more interesting and more things happening for the team. Education about Kiwi. So Kiwi Coast came and helped us and had a conversation about what trapping is, how it works, and then about Kiwi Care and what's going on in Northland. Yep. Phil.
Yeah, so as you saw in those pictures, we got up there for a week initially, had about 20, maybe a little more on a rotating basis, squadron personnel that jumped at the chance to get into the outdoors and set up a decent camp, certainly with a view there on the top of the Brindewans looking out over Bream Bay. It was fantastic. And the task that we got stuck into was that diversion for the Te Araroa Trail, which ended up being about 2 kilometres of trail that we did from the top to the bottom over time. And there you can see some pictures. And then a lot of the team actually got out and found a hugely rewarding role doing the baiting and pest control in the area as well. And all came back pretty stoked at the end of each day, having, I think anyway, they certainly felt like they were contributing to quite a rewarding task, particularly given, as Adele mentioned, we were lucky to get some great presentations and talks in the after hours from resident experts and from Northland District Council and the like, that gave us a really good understanding of the context of what we were doing, the importance of protecting the native flora and fauna. So a really awesome job. And then we've subsequently come back twice for 2 more sort of efforts, 1-day efforts to just cut back the track and most recently to put some gravel out and sort of really define it much better. So yeah, it's looking really good.
Oh, nice one. And I guess you've started to kind of speak to kind of some of the benefits that you've seen and in terms of the feedback you've had from your colleagues. But yeah, just wondered if you had any other kind of thoughts on what do you see the benefits of kind of working in this way? And I guess, what I'm kind of alluding to is you each come to the table with your own kind of knowledge, perspectives, and capabilities. And so, yeah, just great to see how those, when coming together can create some fantastic outcomes.
Yeah, absolutely. It was a hugely rewarding task for everybody. One of my one of the young team members, I heard anecdotally last time we were up there last week, that the last year's week-long effort was one of his highlights for last year. He absolutely loved being up there, and I think just giving our team an opportunity to work on a slightly different task, still working the friendships, the teamwork. It's a motivator for them to get out there and do something quite tangible. Often when we're at work, we're doing stuff, it's a lot of paperwork driven, writing reports, things like that, where you don't see those tangible benefits. So they had a great time. I think it's great to see NZDF out there in the community as well, doing positive work. I mean, we're always out there doing positive work, but this was a proactive, positive opportunity to engage with Piroa Brindewans Trust and Northland District Council DOC and do something. It was really meaningful, rather than just responding to HADAR and other things, which obviously have a positive benefit in terms of our engagement with community, but it's always after a negative event. So we really loved it and enjoy the opportunity to get back out there and do it again.
Cool. And sort of from our side, from the trust standpoint, like most community groups, a lot of your volunteers are sort of more in the retired end of the age group, and to be able to have 20 plus young fit bodies come up here, it's incredible how much it can accelerate your work really quickly. So that was really good for us, but more so that we got to work with some people that don't get an opportunity to work in conservation in the area in many cases. So for us to be able to walk through with these people and talk to them about conservation, the importance of it, the work that we do, it really has sparked an enthusiasm. around some people that are very, 90% of the time they're in the city and in an office, etc. So it was really good from that side to sort of share the work of what a lot of volunteers do out in conservation across the country, and the achievements that we can, get together as groups. Yeah.
I will say though that those trackies did teach us a lesson or two in stamina, and they're pretty hardy, and you can't be outdone by them. So I think it lifted some of our young guys' games pretty quickly, and felt the pressure.
Yeah.
Definitely. Yeah, having had my own experience, it's back-breaking work, isn't it?
Yeah.
Nice one. And so, any other kind of plans for working together in the future, or is it kind of just play it by ear, and if there are the right opportunities, follow those opportunities?
Well, certainly from our side, we will always be able to find great work and good things for the team to do if they're keen to come up, and we hope that partnership continues on, because it is really good, and both groups really appreciate the engagement and the work together. So I'm sure we'll keep working on things over the years. We've had three sessions together now, a 5-day kickoff where we did a heap of work, and then the team has come up for a day a couple of times since then, and we've thrown a barbecue, and they get to have a bit of a team building time and that involved. So we hope that continues, but I guess that's up to Phil.
No, absolutely. I think the positive feedback from the team, as well as those tangible results, it's a great partnership, and I'm really keen to continue that now. 3 times proves it wasn't a fluke. We'll be back again, so keen to continue that relationship going forward. Absolutely.
That's fun. Awesome. Well, just lastly, I just wondered if you guys, or if either of you had any kind of words of advice or tips for our audience who might be from community groups, or might be from different businesses or other organizations who might be looking to support their community. With any kind of thoughts on, what they should be thinking about, or, any kind of words of encouragement for taking, a first step and brokering a new relationship with someone in their community.
Yeah. Well, sort of from our side, I mean, when it comes to conservation work and volunteers, often we're all going after the same people to get support, whether it's funding or help. And sometimes it's step back and think out of the box. Businesses and organisations now find it quite hard financially to do team building work that doesn't cost a lot of money. So think about groups and organisations that could do planting days, that could do trapping days, that could do track building days as team building efforts. And there are a lot of businesses and organisations out there that, if you approach them and suggest it, and it's a non-expensive activity, then that really does make it a lot easier and a win-win for both. And it's a really good educational thing for a lot of these groups, people, organisations, etc., to get involved with. But
yeah, I was just going to touch on that exact point. I think, believe it or not, it was kind of education by stealth for our team, and we got out there and got a great opportunity to just learn more about the environment and gain a massive appreciation for the great outdoors and the natural environment that we were working in. Excuse me. So. Those information sessions as well were fantastic to provide that context. So I would just encourage any organisation that's considering doing it to just get stuck in and find a partner, or reach out. I mean, I'd happy to chat to anyone about it as well, about the benefits of it. It is a great opportunity to get people out there. We've got a disparate group of people across Squadron that are in different locations, geographically dispersed. So it was an opportunity to bring a bunch of people together that don't always work together every day, and get to know each other better, and through a bit of hard work and social opportunities afterwards and everything. So and the benefit it comes from that as well, is something actually quite meaningful from an environmental perspective too. So conservation.
Oh, kia ora, team. And it just makes me think. I often reflect on the idea that a partnership is created over 100 cups of tea, but often it only takes a couple of cups of tea, right? sometimes it's only a conversation or two away. So yeah, just on that note, just want to say a big thank you to you both for your time and energy today. I really think it's important that we have more of these types of conversations across Northland as we work towards inspiring others and building our understanding of what's actually possible when we work together in partnership. So yeah, thank you for your willingness and for your willingness to share your work with us today.
Thank you.
Thanks, Cam.
Kia ora. So for those watching this, I appreciate that because this isn't a live session, you don't have the chance to kind of ask our guests questions. So in the spirit of kind of building that capability and learning from each other's experiences, Adele and Phil have kindly agreed to respond to any questions that viewers send through to me. So yeah, there's also the email you have in front of you, which Adele can directly respond to. But for those watching, you'll be able to find my email in the description of this video. So yeah, on that note, I guess I encourage all of those viewers today just to reflect on the opportunities there might be for you to collaborate with other groups and individuals with different skills, strengths, perspectives, and knowledge that I guess when combined with your own could make a real tangible difference for the environment. Yeah, so I think it's, you know, in the sentiment that I'll close us today with a bit of a whakatauki that I think feels apt for today's conversation. Mā te mahi ngātahi katoa te kuaka te tōna tauranga. So when we work together like the Godwit, we can reach our destination no matter the distance. So thanks again, Phil and Adele.
Thank you.
Got it. Thank you.